Good evening, I am Nasa Kingo. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBConline, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBConline. We start in Dodoma with a report that the President of Samia Suluhu Hassan has appointed the former President of Zanzibar, Aman Abeid Karume, to be the Chancellor of Mbeya University of Science and Technology, MUST. Furthermore, President Dr. Samia has appointed former Speaker Anne Makinda as Chancellor of Moshi Cooperative University. The appointments commence immediately. President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to officiate a special meeting involving the board chairpersons and chief executives of public institutions in the country, aiming to set a new directive to improve the management and performance of institutions. The chairperson of the forum, who is also the CEO of Tanzania Commercial Bank, TCB, Sabasaba Mushingi, says the preparations for the meeting are completed and 1,000 participants from 248 institutions are expected to attend the meeting in Arusha for 3 days. Here is a report prepared by Satilela Kongola, read by Faida Ngaga.
For the first time, the board chairpersons and chief executives of public institutions in the country are meeting for a special meeting to be held in Arusha, and preparations are said to be complete.
Taasisi ni 248.
There will be 248 organizations attending this special meeting. This will be the first meeting and it will take a long time. Her Excellency President Samia and other high-profile leaders will give a layout of their vision and expectations to us public parastal readers.
The managing director of the Arusha International Conference Center, AICC, Ephraim Mafuru, says the meeting will boost the center's revenue and they are well organized and ready.
I call upon hotel owners, restaurant owners, people in the transport sector, shop owners, and people owning entertainment avenues to provide support and services to the guests who have already started to arrive since yesterday and the day before yesterday. More than 1,000 guests will be here. We will have 248 organizations. I therefore urge Arusha residents to provide quality services so that all the guests can have an impressive experience.
Chief executives of various institutions say they expect the meeting to stamp a new direction to the institutions and the way they execute their duties.
We expect to get a new direction in terms of the management of the public, parastotals and institutions. This is a brand new experience and we believe it will bring changes in how we heads of public institutions operate.
The Arusha Regional Commissioner John Mongela affirms that the region is fully secured to ensure the special meeting is held peacefully.
Security has been well preserved by Arusha residents, and not just the security forces. I urge you all to continue preserving peace and security. Let's make sure the services are of high quality.
The theme of the special meeting entails to set new direction in managing and operating public institutions for the betterment of the national economy.
The Southern Africa Development Community SADC leaders have agreed to deploy troops to the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and extend the bloc's military mission in Mozambique in a move that is meant to bring peace and stability in the region. Tanzania, which was represented by the Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango, vows to continue to play its role in promoting and ensuring peace and stability in the SADC region. Here is the special report from Luanda, Angola, prepared by Blanche Goreses.
The organ is SADC's most powerful body, which is tasked to protect the citizens and development of the regional bloc against any instability which may arise from aggression as well as any type of conflict and breakdown of law. Namibia chaired the body for 12 months that saw 3 extraordinary summits being held, which were aimed at finding lasting solutions to the peace and security challenges in the region.
We assisted the Kingdom of Lesotho, and we just heard a statement to negotiate vital government reforms and to undertake a peaceful transition of political power in 2022. Several member states in the region will undertake general elections in the coming months. We are confident that the people of the Republic of Zimbabwe, the Kingdom of Eswatini, the Republic of Madagascar, and the Democratic Republic of Congo will undertake elections in a climate of peace.
But there are still conflict-hit areas within the regional bloc that continue to demand the interventions to be strengthened, and the regional leaders cannot relax.
These include: 1, our interventions in support of the territorial integrity of the DRC and the Republic of Mozambique should be strengthened. 2, we should endeavor to complete the implementation of the national reforms in the Kingdom of Lesotho and the initiation of national dialogue in the Kingdom of Eswatini. And last, we should find options for the sustainable funding for the SADC electoral observation missions in support of democracy and good governance practices in our region.
Namibia's political stability has always received praises among the regional bloc leaders, and President Geingob will continue to serve in the Organ Troika as the outgoing chairperson, with President Hichilema as the chair and deputy yet to be announced.
The Director General of Rural Energy Agency, REA, Engineer Hassan Said, says the government through the agency plans to spend 12 billion Tanzanian shillings for the construction of rural fuel filling stations and the distribution of gas cylinders in 24 regions of Tanzania mainland. He made the revelation when speaking to journalists in Dodoma, insisting that the move is part of the government's strategy to supply electricity to all villages by June 2024.
Lazima tuingie huko kama kuna athari yote inasababishwa.
We must adapt the new methods of cooking, which are environmentally friendly and healthy. These are 2 major projects that we are conducting. Another energy project that we have started is that of helping in the construction of small oil stations in rural areas. We were given 2 billion first, and in June budget, we were given 10 billion by the government. Therefore, the government has set aside 12 billion for construction of filling stations for cars in rural areas.
Mafuta ya magari vijijini.
On the other hand, the Director General urged that the government will use alternative energy in the areas where the national grid has not reached yet and educate the citizens to abandon the use of charcoal and firewood to conserve the environment. More than 800 entrepreneurs from various regions in the country expect to participate in one of the largest trade in Babati Manyara region, named Tanzanite Trade Fair, that is expected to be held from October 17th to 21st this year. The Manyara Regional Commissioner, Queen Sendiga, says the aim of the fair is to connect Manyara business community with local and foreign business community.
The exhibitors will come from different groups, government institutions that will showcase their services, businessmen and women who will sell their products, small, medium and big entrepreneurs, those from the agriculture sector who will sell agricultural products, and also children who will get a chance to see different kinds of animals found in Tanzania.
Queen Sendiga urges the entrepreneurs who will participate in the fair to be creative with packaging to market the region, and the main sponsor of the fair, Mati Super Brand, calls on entrepreneurs to use the opportunity to market their services and products.
Kwa sababu hata mimi nimekuwa nikizunguka huko mara kadhaa.
I would like to urge all farmers, businessmen and women to use this opportunity to identify the packaging companies in order to make their package orders earlier. And it should be great to put the tags of our region on the products that come from here. And it should be great to put the tags of our region on the products that come from here.
We expect that many hotels will be full booked, and on the previous exhibition, all other businessmen and women got a chance to provide their services. So we urge all residents to be prepared to host our visitors in a friendly way, and we believe that some will stay here for good since the Manyara region is a suitable area for investment. Let's use this exhibition to promote our products. This is for everyone to promote business.
The motto for the Tanzanite Trade Fair 2023 is Manyara and Business Potentials. The commemoration of Maji War has reached the climax in Nandete village, Kilwa district, where Tanzanians have been urged to emulate the Maji heroes. From Kilwa, here is a report prepared by Asheri Chilewa and read by Lua Muhammad.
The tribe of Matumbi from Nandete in Kilwa district have fought against the German colonists 118 years ago. And this week, Commemoration Week was held to honor the heroes of the war. At the climax of the Commemoration Week, Tanzanians are urged to emulate patriotism shown by the Maji War heroes. The Deputy Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Mary Masanja, is represented by the Kilwa District Commissioner, Christopher Ngubiegai.
In 1905, during Maji War, there was a traitor who used to pass by and give information from one place to another. Now 118 years have passed, but still there are traitors in our nation, government, parties and communities. Let us be very careful, and if we do not identify them and keep them away, they will harm us.
Ngubiegai says today's Tanzania is in an immense economic warfare incorporated in neo-colonialism.
Tanzania leo tunayo vita kubwa ya kiuchumi na kisiasa.
Today's Tanzania we experience challenges in economic matters, political affairs, cultural issues, and ethical matters. My plea to Tanzanians and residents of Kilwa district is to support our president. Also, I call upon each of us to fulfill our roles and responsibilities for the betterment of our country.
And the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, gives a word from the ministry.
The ministry has approved the Nangoma Cave, Nambaingo Cave, and Mnara Caves to be designated as a national heritage. Also, we have accepted Nandete Festival to be conducted in other regions. The nation should consider compensation for the damage which was caused by the German in the Maji War. So we're urging the government of Tanzania to cooperate with the German government to build good infrastructure in our areas.
Residents of Mafia Island in the coast region have begun to benefit from the voluntary octopus fishing closures program at Jojo and Songo in the island that allow octopus to grow above the legal size and increase biomass when reef is closed off for fishing. Here is a report prepared by Joseph Chewale and read by Lulua Muhammad.
They are fishermen from the village of Jojo in the island of Mafia, finalizing fishing after the end of a special period set by the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries to allow the octopus to grow and breed. With smiling faces, the fishermen are delighted with the program and says it has brought positive results to the fishermen.
We have fished the octopus with very high kilos. We preserved them for 3 months, and today we have fished them. Our income has increased.
The plan to temporarily close the area for fishing activities is coordinated by the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries in collaboration with the Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, and here the organization's coordinator in the island, Japhet Masingo, elaborates more on the program.
The main objective is to harvest many octopus that will contribute to improving the income of the residents of Jojo village.
On the other hand, the Mafia District Commissioner Zefania Sumaye congratulates the residents of the village for the courage they have shown in preserving the reefs and urge them to continue with the program.
I urge the fishermen to continue observing the existing laws implemented by the government by avoiding any kind of activity during the 3 months production period.
Great news there from the coast region, as octopus is one of favorite meals or snack, if you want to say, for many Tanzanians, including myself. Now, Kirejeshi Game Reserve is part of the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, which forms an integral part of the Western Corridor for the Great Wildebeest Migration. The reserve is at the western end of the wildebeest migration transit route, becoming part of the wet season transition phase. Here is my colleague Margaret Getty, who has more on the story.
The famous Great Wildebeest and the largest animal migration of the Serengeti is influenced by the buffer zone known as the Kijereshi Game Reserve. Located on the southern part of the best national park in Africa, the reserve is a conserved area aimed at protecting the Serengeti Mara ecosystem. More than 2 million wildebeest and zebras migrate clockwise annually in search for lush grass and water. These herds of wildebeest move together with their closest friends, including zebras, topi, and gazelles. The Kijereshi Game Reserve habits these animals during the dry season. The name Kijereshi originates from a village bordering the reserve known as Kijilishi. This is a Sukuma word which doesn't have a specific meaning. The word Kijereshi was derived from false pronunciation of Kijilishi by Asian investors who built a camp inside the reserve and named it Kijereshi Tented Camp. A few years after the place was gazetted as a game reserve, the name Kijereshi was adopted from there. On the western side, Kijereshi borders with Lungulu village. and the Lake Victoria lies 2.5 kilometers away on the same side. On the southern side, the reserve borders with villages including Mwabanyanda, Mwakiroba, Kijilishi, Nyamikoma, and Center.
And don't miss TBC News every Tuesdays and Fridays for similar such interesting stories on tourism. And this particular story on Kirejeshi Game Reserve will continue next Tuesday. Now, before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News, as every weekday we will be letting you know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled by Dorothy Murray and read by Faithan Gaga.
West African military chiefs say they are prepared to use force to restore democracy in Niger following last month's coup if diplomacy fails. The generals from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, are meeting in Ghana to coordinate possible military intervention. The ECOWAS Peace and Security Commissioner, Abdel Fattah Musa, says almost all member states were committed to contributing troops and are ready to intervene in Niger. He says that the coup leaders in Niger still had time to pull back from the brink, adding all options were on the table if they did not restore civilian rule. The threat of intervention has raised fears of a wider conflict as the military governments in Mali and Burkina Faso say they would side with their counterparts in Niger. President Xi Jinping of China will pay a state visit to South Africa next week and will also attend the BRICS summit. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Xi's visit comes as leaders of BRICS states are due to meet next week, with part of the agenda being the possible future expansion of the group's membership. A number of African countries, including Algeria, Egypt, and Ethiopia, have previously expressed a desire to join the bloc. Malawi's emergency management chief has quit a day after defending his agency's failure to activate its alarm system in last week's fatal fire. Herman Andaya says he had feared the sirens most often sounded for tsunamis would have sent some in Lahaina running to higher ground, potentially into the path of the fast-moving blaze. Andaya says he did not regret the decision to not sound powerful warning sirens. In the days since, residents of the Hawaii island have been quoted as saying a stronger emergency response could have saved most lives. At least 111 people have been declared dead. More than 1,000 remain missing.
And that was international news. The sports news is up next. And in sports news, very interesting story. The former Nigerian national football team, Super Eagles, and Arsenal striker Nwako Kanu will lead World Football Legends team to play an international friendly match against Tanzania Legends team in a charity match at Uhuru Stadium on September 2nd, special to raise funds to help surgery treatment for children with heart problems at Jakaya Kikwete Cardiac Institute. Kanu Foundation representative Stephen Uwa urges Tanzania football fans to turn up in numbers to watch the football game and contribute funds to help the children as Tanzania football legends support the call.
Able to invite others, talk to others about it so that we can be able to change life. A changing life. Life is not about working for money. Sometimes changing society and helping people who cannot afford to afford to change their life or afford for the medical bills. Working with Conrad Foundation for years and working with him to be able to have this event done in Tanzania. Not just an event, it's a life-changing event, and I will want everybody to support the media, the government, parastatals, the authority, and corporate body.
The match will be played at Uhuru Stadium between the Tanzania football legends and the world football legends led by Nwako Kanu. Very interesting story there, and it's something absolutely not to miss. Nwako Kanu was and is still one of my favorite players, very slow but very dangerous and precise. Biashara United has signed former Twiga Stars and Young Princess head coach Edna Lema to be the assistant coach for the contract of 1 year. Coach Lema says she is ready to face new challenges after spending 7 years with Twiga Stars and 4 seasons with Young Princess, and she will use those skills to make Biashara United competitive in the Championship League.
I spent 7 years with Twiga Stars and 4 seasons with the Young Princess. I am ready to face new challenges, especially in the men's team, starting with Biashara United.
Biashara United got relegated to championships last season from NBC Premier League after poor performance, but now they are ready to face a new challenge. Definitely, I think Edna will be one of the few female coaches to coach men's teams at top level. All the best to Biashara United and Edna as well. That's the sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Viewers, welcome for the next 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. My name is Teresa Ngasa. By starting with the wind flow pattern, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 km per hour over the northern coast, Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika. Also, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 km per hour over the southern coast and Lake Nyasa. For tonight, it is our expectation that most part of our country are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, and the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 7 degrees Celsius over Mbeya region. For tomorrow, it is expectation that areas over Kagera are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over few areas. Over Tanga, Pemba and Unguja ISOs, we expect to have partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over few areas. The remaining part of the country for tomorrow is expected to feature partly cloudy condition. And now let's take a look on the 4 days weather forecast. Thank you for watching us. Bye-bye.
And that makes the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Nasa Kim. Catch us again next week on Monday, same time, same place, right here on TBC1.